Welcome to Unbreakable Latina. Hi guys, welcome back to Unbreakable Latina. This is your host Melina. I hope you're having an amazing day. And if you got lucky enough and you're listening to this on Monday, got the day off, enjoy the extra day off. Every weekend should be a 3-day weekend. I will die on that hill and I will continue to say that. If it was up to me, I'd give a 3-day weekend to everybody because we need it. Like just knowing that tomorrow I have an extra day to meal prep and go to the gym and do all the other things I have to do makes me feel so much better. But anyways, I hope you had an amazing Valentine's Day. Let me tell you about my Valentine's Day. So you guys know how I was just like, don't be sad, don't do this, blah, blah, blah. So I was at work and I get a phone call like, hey, Melina, I have flowers here at the front desk. And I'm like, flowers? Me? And I said, okay, I'll go downstairs as soon as I have a chance. But I was so busy that I couldn't get down. And in my head, I'm thinking like, ¿cuál de mis novios me mandó? I'm just kidding. No tengo novios. But I was thinking like, oh my gosh, like who sent me flowers? Like they're going to kill my game at work. I'm kidding. But I really was thinking like, who sent me flowers? I don't know if I shared this before. I think I did. Did I? I don't know. I've talked about this with people, so it's funny. The last time I got flowers was from an ex, and the card read, our love deserves a chance over and over again. So I had PTSD from receiving those flowers. So when I got these flowers, I was like, oh my God, like who sent them to me? And then my coworker's like, they're beautiful. You have to come get them. So I go downstairs and I see this big bouquet of red roses and it has all these balloons and it says, I love you and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, don't tell me it's those. Because if it's I love you, like that's a little weird and creepy. She's like, no, it's these. And they were these beautiful flowers. And I opened the card and she's like, who sent them? Who sent them? It was my little sister. It was so sweet. Let me read you guys the card. Hold on. I forgot what I said word by word. So the card read, a sister is one of the greatest gifts your heart will ever know. Happy Valentine's Day. Love, Roxy. And I read it and I started like getting all teary-eyed and my coworker's like, who's it from? I'm like, it's my sister. She's like, oh, how sweet. And I was like, how sweet. And it really just made my day. I had no plans for Valentine's Day besides going to work and going to the gym after. So after I finished working, I got dressed and I'm like, vamos a ir a ver mi novio del gym para ver si está single. So as I'm walking out of work, I noticed that it's raining outside, pero dije, it's probably like a sprinkle, una nube pasando. I open the door. I have no umbrella. I only have my coat and like I'm in my gym gear, my white shoes. And you guys, it was pouring. Yo con mis flores. Like, it looked like a scene of a sad movie. And I'm thinking, like, really? On Valentine's Day, this would happen to me? So there I am, walking to my car, 2 blocks down. And my hair was drenched. My shoes were drenched. Parecía perro mojado, como si me bañé con ropa. And I get to my car and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, this is how I'm ending my day. But it was kind of funny, but at the same time, dije, ay, me voy a resfriar. And how am I supposed to go to the gym like this? So I'm driving home with the heater full blast porque me quiero secar because toda mojada ahí. And I think to myself, like, I'm just going to go home, I'll change, and then I'll head to the gym. But as I was getting closer to home, me estaba dando como, when you're cold but you're wet and it's just annoying. So I get home and I'm freezing and it's still raining. I take off my clothes, put on my sweats, and I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I'm done. I'm done with the day. Like, toda dramática. I call my mom and I'm like, Mom, like, do you want to go out to dinner? So we went to the best restaurant that there is ever, 5 stars, In-N-Out. We went to the drive-thru. We both decided to get a double cheeseburger, which we never do, but we were feeling a little crazy. So we got our double cheeseburgers. My mom actually had arrived to the house with flowers for me, so she bought me roses too. And it was just so nice to spend Valentine's Day with my mom in the In-N-Out drive-thru, like the best way to spend it while we were watching Love is Blind reunion recap. Not reunion. What was it? The after show where Raven talks about how SK cheated on her. I can't believe this guy did all this stuff he did. If you haven't watched Love is Blind, I'm sorry, but if you know, you know. Funny story, earlier on Valentine's, my coworkers and I were talking about like, what did you get your wives? And one of them was like, I'm not romantic. I just got her a card. I'm like, did you get her flowers? She's like, no. I mean, I get her flowers all the time. And I'm like, but it's Valentine's Day. Just get her flowers. Like, it's a Hallmark holiday. And we're having like this discussion. They're like, Melina, like if you had a Valentine, it would be the perfect date. And I'm like, look, a nice card, flowers, and take me to the In-N-Out drive-through. And I got all those things from my mom. Like I manifested my Valentine's Day date. And one of my coworkers like, you're simple. And I'm like, it's the middle of the week. I don't want to be waiting with a bunch of people. Like it's que romántico, está frío, unas cheeseburguesas, unas florecitas y que viva el amor. But I got my dream date with my mama and I would not trade it for anything else. It was a good Valentine's Day. Besides la mojada que me di. I had a good one and I hope you guys had a good one as well. Like you don't have to have someone romantically that you love. It could be your friend, it could be your mom, your dad, anybody else, or yourself. This weekend I hung out with Angela yesterday, Saturday, and we went to this Amiga Social Club event. It was like a Galentine's Day. It was cute. It was like a pajama theme, and we made cupcakes. And what else did we do? We did a Reiki session. I've never done that, but when I was doing it, I don't know if you guys are like me, but my brain can't stop. Like when I try to meditate, my brain is always like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. Like it can't just shut down. And I think I'm going to try to start meditating a little bit because it's so hard for me to do it. I always start thinking like of all kinds of things. And it was such a strange experience that I've never felt before. For a moment, I did feel like I actually was meditating, but I don't know. I think I'm going to try to meditate because my brain does not stop and I hate it. Like I just wish I could chill. So I think my new goal is to learn how to just sit and not think about anything and just lay there. And today I did that. Anyways, that event, it really inspired me to get my event going. And I know I've been talking about it like for a long time, but I'm gonna be real with you guys. I've been overwhelmed. I've been so overwhelmed with the fact that I'm navigating everything with like starting my LLC and a business. And if you're a business owner, you know how hard it is if someone hasn't paved the way for you and you kind of have to do your research. But I'm so lucky to have people that I know and that I talk to and that connect with through social media. And we have YouTube, we have TikTok. So it's easier to learn things, but it's still very overwhelming. I still have to do the merch. I haven't. I haven't done anything. And I've been really beating myself up about it. Like I've kind of been annoyed with myself and I want to be more patient because I could only do so much, right? And sometimes I'm like, man, like you're not doing anything. Like how lazy and blah, blah, blah. And then my mom gets me out of this funk and is like, no, you do a lot. Like, why do you keep saying that? And you can't have everything at once. You can't have a love life and a social life and a business going. Like, honestly, I don't believe in that. You just like somewhere in your life, something is lacking. And I think I got to the point where I was just like, I want to do so much. I can't even do one thing because my mind is so overwhelmed. But I'm going to be more patient with myself and little by little. And thank you guys so much for understanding that your girl is going through it when it comes to like getting the merch going and the events. I'm planning to have the event the first week of June. So keep that weekend free. I'm going to start looking for a place to have it. And most likely will be out here where I live in the IE because it would just be easier. And maybe I want to start doing like meetups because the weather's getting better. So what about like a hike or cafecito, and some of us could get together and just meet each other and have friends, because lately I've been feeling like I'm stuck in this rut of doing the same thing over and over. And yeah, I do have my friends that I love and my family, but I need to go out and do more things, like to not make my regular Thursday boring just going to the gym. Maybe meet up with some of you for happy hour or something. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. It's just me like spiraling right now. So I'm not gonna have the event until June, but I will definitely want to have like a meetup where we get to know each other and make friends, because a lot of you guys have messaged me and I know that I've been putting it off, but it ain't easy trying to maintain a social life and a business and a podcast and my 8 to 5. So thank you for continuing to support me. It really means a lot to me. Today I went to brunch with my coworkers and that was fun. We were just cracking up the whole time. It's just so nice to be able to connect with everybody outside of work. And since we don't have work tomorrow, it's even better. So on today's episode, I wanted to talk about self-awareness, which is something that I have been learning a lot the past year. And I feel like I've grown so much. It's just crazy because, well, first, if you don't know what self-awareness is, your ability to perceive and understand the things that make you who you are as an individual, including your personality, actions, values, beliefs, emotions, and thoughts. And the reason that I wanted to talk about this is because I read this quote. It says, "There is no self-development without self-awareness. You can read as many books as you like, but if you're unable to read yourself, you'll never learn a thing." And my mind was blown because that is so true. Self-awareness is important because when you look inward, you're able to clarify your values, your thoughts, your feelings, behaviors, your strengths, your weaknesses, and you're also able to recognize the effect that you have on others. I know in the past there's been people in my life that had said like, this is how I am, and that's just how I am. There's nothing that they're gonna do to try to change or realize that their actions or whatever they say are hurting other people or making them unhappy. And those people lack self-awareness. There's a lot of benefits with becoming self-aware. Like, it gives you the power to influence outcomes. Like, you're not going to put yourself in a situation where you're going to be upset. Like, if you already know things that trigger you, for example, one of my triggers is if I am in a group setting and there's no plan. Like, I will never go. I'm not a go with the flow type of girl. I'm getting better at it. But if we're going somewhere, like, there has to be some sort of plan, or, hey, we're going to go to this restaurant and then we could do whatever. But if someone's like, hey, let's just meet up here and then we'll figure it out, that's not me. And I will never put myself in that situation because I know that definitely triggers me and puts me in a bad mood. When you become self-aware, you have a greater ability to regulate your emotions. It also helps us build better relationships, whether it's romantic, friendships, or family. Being self-aware also helps you understand things from different perspectives. Not everybody thinks the same. And when you become self-aware that not everyone has the same feelings, like, one thing that I have learned is that I can't expect people to love me like I love them. And that's been a very hard pill to swallow. But me letting go of the fact that not everyone feels the same way as I do and are going to show the love the same way has brought so much peace to my life, and just let those people love me like the way that they decide, not the way that I expect them to. Being self-aware means taking a deeper look at your emotions, why you feel a certain way, and how your sentiments could turn into reactions. When you practice being self-aware, it just allows you to react better to situations or to people that might set you off. One way to become more self-aware is to spend time alone. When you spend time alone, you aren't clouded by like other people's judgments, or you do whatever you want. When you're alone, you are yourself, and you know what you like, what you dislike, and you don't have to impress anybody. So if you're not the type of person that likes to do stuff alone or spend time alone, start doing it. Because sometimes you don't even know what you're into until you start spending time alone. We can be really influenced by the group of friends we have, or our significant others, or our family. So getting to know yourself is one of the best things you can do to become more self-aware. You can also journal. When you journal, you understand your feelings better. Like, I did it for a long time. When I was going through my breakup, I would journal and write how I felt. And sometimes I would go back and read it and I'm like, what triggered me? When you write your feelings down, it just helps you process instead of just like hiding it and not letting it out and just leaving it in your body. So it's good to just let it all out on paper. You don't have to tell anybody, it could just be for yourself. You can practice self awareness by asking for feedback at work or with your family or with your friends if you feel comfortable. Um, when I have gotten feedback from friends about like, hey, how did I react to the situation? It has helped me understand more of how people perceive me. And if I reacted a way that I shouldn't have, then the next time that a situation similar happens, I know how to react. Becoming more self-aware is a great skill to have. For me, like I said, it didn't happen overnight. It's something that has been developed in the last few years. I am aware that I'm not perfect. I never thought I was perfect, but I know what my weaknesses are. When I became more self aware, I learned how to control my emotions. I learned to be more empathetic. Not everyone's going to feel the same way as I do. And just more understanding, more adaptable to situations, and overall it's just helped my life. So I hope that this helps a little if you are someone that's looking to be more self-aware. It will definitely make your life better and make your relationships better. So on this episode, I did want to do a Big Sis Advice segment, and let me read to you guys the first message I got. It was a DM on Instagram. Hey girl, I've moved, but for years I've done my best to keep my friendships stable and close despite of distance. I noticed that it became very one-sided. I felt so drained and I wasn't even happy anymore with these friendships. I was giving and giving energy but was never reciprocated, so I ended them all very subtle and silent. I basically ghosted them, so technically they don't know what my issues are with them, and I don't plan on telling them because I only know problems will come from it. I am now in my healing era and I've been doing really good, but there are times that these quote-unquote friends have provoked me and have victimized themselves, making me look bad. They have reached out, but I try to keep the peace because it's for the best. And I just say that I'm really busy or I need space or have a lot going on right now. Do you have any advice on maintaining graceful in these situations or just friendship breakups in general? How do you become more confident after this and opening up your circle for good people who will love to be in your life? Hi, amigos. Thank you so much for sharing this with me. I myself have been through a lot of friendship breakups, and it's hard to let go at first because you have all these memories and you don't want to be a jerk and you want to be nice. Like nothing really happened. It's just, it seems like you moved and the energy wasn't reciprocated. And that's something that as you grow older, I'm not sure how old you are, but I'm gonna be 33 and I have had a lot of different friends, and not everyone's meant to be there for your whole life. When we're little, I think we have this idea that we see in the movies. These best friends grew up from pre-K all the way to high school. They got married, they had kids together, and which does happen. It does happen to some people. Unfortunately, I haven't had that in my life, and I am okay with that. So it seems to me like you feel guilty for not wanting to be friends with these girls, but I think you have to be honest. I personally would reach out and say, hey, I just want to be honest with you. The reason that I haven't been communicating with you is because I felt like the energy wasn't reciprocated when I was trying to keep our friendships, although we don't live close to each other anymore. And you can give your 2 cents. And if they want to fight you back or whatever, you don't have to respond to that. You gave them an explanation to why you no longer want to be a friend. And that's that. And as far as being open to like new friendships, just be open to it. Not everyone's you're not gonna have the same experience you had with these particular friends. Everyone's gonna be different. You have to be social and get out of your comfort zone. If you're trying to make friends at work, ask your coworker, what did they do this week? And if it's something that sounds like you would like doing, be like, oh yeah, we should do this sometime. I've made friends with my friend Angela. I met her on a trip. I put myself out of my comfort zone. I went on a trip alone and I made a friend out of it. We always joke around and we say like, you cost me $3,000 to meet you when we lived like close to each other and we never would have crossed paths if we didn't go on this trip. So get out of your comfort zone. Talk to the person that's sitting next to you. when you're waiting at the doctor's. I don't know. Just be open to meeting new people and don't let your experience of these past friendships influence you. Not everyone's the same. You're going to lose friends. You're going to gain friends. It's just life. That's what life is all about. I hope this helps, amiga. Hope you have a wonderful week. And then I have another one. So this one was actually on SpeakPipe. So let me play it for you guys.
My question is, what advice do you have for the big sisters who obviously have no elder sisters, and when they're looking to seek advice or trust someone but don't know where to recur?
Hi, amiga. Thank you so much for submitting your question on SpeakPipe. I am a big sister myself. I do have an older brother, but big sisters are different. I can't talk to my brother about like girl stuff, and I get it. I have definitely confided in my friends for big sister advice because I do have friends that are older than me and have more experience in life. So I look up to them. Some of them joke around. They're like, you could be my daughter. I'm like, no, you're just my older sister. So there are people that you can go to. It's just a matter of building that relationship, that friendship where you feel comfortable sharing different things. My sister and I weren't always super close like we are now, but we built that relationship, and you could build that relationship with anybody. You don't have to be blood related. I got lucky to be a big sister, but I don't have a big sister. I have a big brother, and I'm lucky to have him too, because although he might not be able to talk girly stuff, he's still a very good listener. And I don't know how it feels to be like the oldest. That must be really hard to not have a big brother or big sister. But you could definitely confide in your friends if you have a cousin that's close to you. You just have to build that relationship because not everyone has close relationships with their siblings. So definitely be open to building a relationship where you can trust somebody to confide in your deepest, darkest secrets. I hope that my advice helps. And if you ever need more Big Sis advice, then you can send it here. And if anybody else needs advice, I really like doing these. I prefer the voice note, but if you're shy, then you could email me or you could DM me. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I enjoyed recording it as always. I hope you guys have an amazing week. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Follow me at Unbreakable Latina on Instagram and on TikTok. Subscribe to YouTube and follow me on Twitter at Latina Podcast. Cuídense mucho. Las quiero, los quiero. Talk to you soon. Bye.